wonderful win for Arsenal against Leicester. Brilliant play. I like what is happening by both sides. Good on Trossard for doing what he does. Good on Martinelli for doing what he does. Very good passage of play. Few unlucky ones via no goal because Ben White was tugging the goalkeeper's hands. But aside from that, brilliant play. Brilliant play. It was very attacking. I like that. Interesting the way Trossard played in his role as the number 9. He really did pull it off. But it's something that Nketiah will need to think about because this might have been his probably the best game for him to play. He hasn't scored in the last 2 to 3 games. So this one, he missed out on for a proper chance. On the other side, Inacho was on it. He was really on it. Yes, first half he did score, but he was offside. It was a good line that Arsenal pulled there for the offside. But in terms of what he was doing before, it's good stuff by them. Now, what kind of things do I see going forward that might be an issue for Arsenal? Definitely the wing-back situation. As they always go inside, Zivchenko, Ben White, they like to come in and we leave Gabriel and Saliba at the back. And it just, if one of them loses the ball by doing a pass that, is not good, straight away the counter-attack that many teams are going to have on us, just like how Leicester was able to do many counter-attacks, is just tremendously different. Like, it just leaves 2 at the back and then 5 of our players are coming, trying to catch up to come back. But these guys will have 4 free players charging us when they do counter-attacks because of that system of bringing the wing-backs, using them as wingers, but it's different in the way that Arsenal are using them, where they bring them really in to be in the middle kind of. So it's just one of those things that I've seen, like the passes, if the passes are not clear-cut, the counter-attack is ridiculous. And when we do get our 5 players back there, it is brilliant. But it depends on the team we're versing. If that team has a lot of pace and that team has a lot of smart players with vision, that it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But if we're playing other teams which can do the counter-attack but are not wise enough to pick the spots correctly, sorry, for this example, Leicester was one of those, they can't create anything from it. Because by the time they're slowing down the ball, our defenders are back in line, our midfielders are back in line. So it does create a problem for them. Another good thing I saw was Jorginho, his positioning. He dropped deep to support the centre-backs to give the ball to them. But the thing that I want is the attacking part when he does. What I've been seeing is fantastic. He's able to see a good pass. Like in the first half, he was able to pick a pass straight to Saka. And that pass was 20 yards. So that is brilliant. And Saka was through on goals. Saka just needed to use his right foot in that situation because he did cut to his left foot properly, which is his left foot, it's fine. However, he's surrounded by 3 guys. And that right, he would have been open to take a shot if he just tried it. And he did try and do some crosses with his right and all this other stuff, but I feel that's an area in his game that maybe it doesn't matter now, but over time, he may need to start improving that area of using the right foot a little bit more by working in training, and then he can showcase that. But Jorginho's playing of that ball, that passing is very good. When he gets it right, it's great. When he doesn't get it right, it's an issue because the players are able to overlap him very quickly. Very, very quickly. So that's the only thing. Martinelli on the other side, he's a fantastic winger. I just feel nowadays he's not really trying to challenge to get past defenders, like dribble past defenders. He wants to do a defenders here, he want to pass, and then go like that to get around. Well, it sometimes works, but it slows down the play a lot. And maybe in this team it doesn't matter because Javchenko is right here, so he always has someone to pass to, and then move, pass to, and then move. And sometimes Martinelli is a smart guy. He doesn't stay in that spot at the corner, right at the line. Sometimes he moves into that position where Trossard is, and Trossard switches around, or Odegaard will switch around, or even so Xhaka will switch to that wing spot, depending on how it's feeling. But that is it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, hopefully he'll develop more of his attack, because his speed is amazing. But I feel like sometimes recently he hasn't been using it to his full effect. In terms of a 1v1 situation, what we're going to do. Do we need to play and then go around the defender, or could we just really just get around the defender? Sometimes, that may be the case. But it's really regarding Martinelli high because he's a good player and he does what he needs to do on the pitch. So yeah. But it's an interesting game. Our defense is working. This defense, man, they will drop 7 people back. Leicester will really drop people back. To hold on to a game, Leicester will hold on as many players as they can in the back. And it's great when you have a good counter attack, but wow, it's like suffocating. It's a good tactic in the sense that you're trying to block up as much areas so that players don't have a freedom of shooting. But at the same time, if you're not having enough chances at the other side of goal, it's not really a great outcome at the end of the day. And for your fans just watching you just defend more in the game and have some momentary counter attack. I wouldn't be really excited with that. But main thing, they picked up the points. Arsenal picked up the points, and these points are needed because we've got teams below us who are chasing, and we let that happen because we had 8 points. Then we decided to lose to Everton. We decided to draw with Brentford. So it's just a game that separates now. It can go either way this season with the way that if it's just a game. But if you put enough confidence in Arsenal to go through that, that's where, they'll prove themselves, regardless of the teams that are below them that are very hungry for that spot. And the bonus that I see is, Arsenal not really. Now, from the previous fixtures, that was very tight. Game, few days game. And now it's, there's a week, giving them a chance to have a breather. It's good. It's good football. So, what I expect for the next game, hopefully another pickup of the 3 points. That's what I expect. But it's going to depend. Last thing, we need to find something to fill up that middle area. It is a gap that is really, if other teams were to exploit that gap, because it can be open sometimes. Sometimes you just see the referees in our area there because of how open we make it. Yeah, but that's for another day. Arsenal pick up the 3 points, so nothing else to say.